through the process? Can I meet somebody? And we try to explain to them, we're like, dude, these people are really busy, and they like invested into the program because they wanted to get into a business, not because they wanted to like do sales for my company. And what what we'd like you to do, if you don't mind, Andrew, kind of just like for people who may be on the fence with purchasing the acquisition network service and program, kind of just share your experience with them, like in a nutshell. Like you paid for a program, there was people available. We didn't run off and steal your money, like you are in a business. Like just kind of, if you don't mind sharing that and just like give a quick overview of your background, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. My background is I'm an engineer at heart. I tell people I'm an engineer, chemical engineer by trade. Learned business and operations, some operations guy, and I really got into this for what I say is financial freedom. And it's the biggest financial decision of my life I've ever made. I mean, I purchased a house, I have a mortgage, I've taken a loan out on a car. This is kind of a bigger deal with a personal guarantee. And really, what I was looking for was someone to help look over my shoulder and give me advice on whether this deal made sense, whether this deal could be successful, whether I was getting scammed on a deal myself. And that's really what I was looking for.
Yeah, and thank you, man. If you don't mind me sharing, like, what was the details of the deal? Like, so it was like a commercial cleaning franchise reseller. Like, what made you pick that? What was like the criteria of it? I think you were working with Andre, was it?
Yeah, Andre and Jim, yes. And so I picked a commercial cleaning janitorial franchise. So basically, do cleaning for businesses. So it's B2B. I had a couple of those I was looking at too. My criteria was mainly I didn't want my first deal to be 100% dependent on the Google machine. So although I know that's a part of the business model, like the B2C, I was a little bit scared of being 100% committed to. That was kind of one of my criteria. The second one is I wanted it to be, people call it recession resistant or AI proof, right? Uh, Cleaning toilets may eventually go to technology, but the ROI is not going to be there for a while. So this business is going to be needed in up times and down times because everyone needs their toilets cleaned. That's kind of my second one. And then the third one is the cash flow size. For my working with the team and my analysis, like I wanted to be about a half a million in SDE. I'm a little bit lower than that, but I learned kind of in my market that a little bit lower. So yeah, about half a million SDE was kind of my goal too.
Half a million. And what did it end up being, like down payment, and what's the STE?
Yeah, so the deal was 1.5. I SBA loaned this, and I got about 20% seller finance, and about 10% down payment.
Nice.
So my notes only about 1.3, and yeah, 10% down. So and the cash flow is right below. It's like 475. 475 is the number. So I'm just below my goal, but it's close enough that with some growth I can be there.
475. That's pretty good, man. If you don't mind me asking, like, so what were you making before that?
Yeah, so I was just under 200,000. So I was working in tech, and I was just under 200,000 in salary before this. So it's a good job, a nice jump, and again, like for not something as techy, right? And getting your hands dirty and cleaning. Yeah.
So are you still keeping the job, or what's the plan?
No, actually, the job's done. So I'm fully jumping into this. You didn't ask me this, but one of the things I love about Acquisition Network and that I think stood out as a service was you're willing to go in and be a partner, right? And operate the companies with the entrepreneurs themselves. There weren't a lot of other companies willing to do that. And so I always wanted to get my hands dirty and go in. And I think, yeah, that's how I'm going to drive the most value. And I'm actually going to take this from a $1.5 million company that may be a $5-10 million company. Was me getting in, me driving, me building processes.
No, that's awesome. And then, if you don't mind sharing with everybody, what was your experience with buying businesses before meeting us? Like, have you tried previously? Did you invest into the other programs? What research did you do with like the other companies in the industry?
Yeah, I researched a lot of other companies. I had not tried anything before. I started this journey, man, February, March of 2025. Um, and I researched a bunch of companies, and then I did a little bit of research on my own. So I bought a couple books, the HBR guide, and really it came down to your service stood out to the other ones because of the ability and the willingness to operate. Again, everyone was going to get me to the transaction door, like, and help me transact or give me training materials, but not willing to put their sweat and their own effort and their own time post sale. That's what made y'all stand out to me. And again, I put a lot of effort myself in. It was not completely hands off, but I had coaches I could text or call and just like schedule, like, hey, here's this random thing for my seller this week, or hey, here's this deal I found and we're going to go through. The time and the coaching and the one-on-one support is what I really valued from you guys.
Thank you, Andrew. And I want to make that clear to people because like everyone wants the done for you, make me rich, put the money in solution. But the reason why Andrew was able to succeed is because obviously he bought the program, but actively did the work himself, actively took the steps, and now that you were able to learn from Andre and Jim, right, who has done deals. And so instead of buying a course, you've got like a dedicated one-on-one advisor to walk you through it. And so I also want to be clear, right? Like Andre, you are an operator, and so you decided not to opt in for the 20% equity management model, even though you referenced like that was the reason why you invested with us, just the fact that we even offered that. And so like in the long run, you can see like what you're dealing with your current business when you do deal 3, 5, 8, now hey, there's somebody here I could trust that can come run it for me, because there's gonna be a point when you do 3 of these, you're like, what, I don't have to, I'm making 1.5 mil a year. Why am I here cleaning toilets or whatever I'm dealing with it, right? So at that point, giving 20% isn't much of a thing, is it?
Exactly. That's exactly right. And the 20% to 20%, but also just the willingness to be there. So with your eyes on the deal, I have to deal with this later. I have to make sure that 20% works for me was also like, I think the big piece is that you don't make anybody decide until after the deal's done. So like, so that was the part that I really liked.
Yeah, we really, I don't know, we obviously haven't spoken much, Andrew. I want to like to share like with the big part of our business model is we want to roll out a B2B consulting practice to where like we just go out and help businesses become more profitable. And so like our clients at any point in time, they can just hire us at whatever point during the acquisition. It may be like 2-3 years from now, you're like, you know what, I actually don't want to do this, right? And we already have the processes, we have the consulting system in places to help run the company. So yeah, I didn't know that you had a tech background, man. So like, what is your general like? How familiar are you with like the tech thesis that we're developing, and like what's your consensus on biz buy sell and like what the other marketplaces are doing in the market, and like how aware are you of like what it is that we're trying to build?
Yeah, I only know a little bit. I know a little bit from what the team's told me. I know you're trying to have a one-stop shop for businesses. So I don't know a lot. I only know little pieces. So I can't claim to be an expert. But what I will say, the part of the question I think you're asking too is that like it's so needed in the small business game. Like there's, especially with brokers want a big deal. And so in this like medium-sized, smaller deal market, there's not a lot of hands-on support and not a lot of effort being put into these businesses. So like there's a really good sweet spot in that small business side of, was a truck and a truck that grew bigger, was this owner operator that grew bigger, but doesn't have processes, doesn't have systems, doesn't have people that like, there's definitely a room for consulting, or definitely room for some like transactions and sales on the acquisition side too.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, like that. The big thing of what we're looking to do is, and I know you're on your phone. I'll just give you a quick demo, right? So the goal is to take it from like this experience of, clients going and have to like go on biz buy sell and introduce themselves to a bunch of people, to instead like the platform brings it all together for the client, and then we could schedule meetings with the lender, the seller directly on the platform, right? And we could all just like communicate with one another through chats. We can assign tasks with one another, project planner, right? There'll be a job board where we could like source talent,
Oh
university,
yeah.
right? This is what we're looking to build, right? A university tab, network directory of like all the lenders, so you can get your next deal done, right? And so like obviously Biz Buy Sell isn't providing any of this, right? It's like that's where we are right now. I'm sharing this to you because like right now we're at like the pivotal fundraising stage, Andrew, and I'm just so like I appreciate you taking the time with us to show that we are not trying to run off of people's money, and not sure if you've seen that like this, like we record everything. We've always been extremely transparent as to like how the network's growing. We post like 3 meetings a day. We do bi-weekly meetings with our investors, and what we have just doesn't exist. Like people hear about it and they say it's too good to be true, and I'm like, well, I've got 4,300 meetings showing how we did this, and it's not done yet, right? We're like, we still need money for the app, and that's why like your review is super beneficial, because like here's like our use of funds. Like we're looking at like we paid 50K to get the app started, but the total project's 125. So another 75K plus like there's just like some like automation tools that allows us to like generate significantly more revenue and take advantage of the fact that we've got like 20,000 people in our audience that clicked on the ads, but they can't afford the same program that you purchased. And so we're going to teach all those people how to come and do business consulting directly through the platform, right? And then that's going to create more and more and more off-market deal flow, so you can get your next deal done. So like that's basically the premise and the plan, and that's why, like I said, your review goes a long way, because right now we're going to be doing a webinar tomorrow where we're driving people to this offer. The offer is right for 25K. We do the work, but then we're making a limited offer for the next 5 people that invest 100K. They get 1% equity in the whole company for every deal that we do. And so 100K for 3 deals plus 1%. And so the premise with that is that allows us to, boom, raise 100K in January. Now we can, fund these invoices that we have. Like we have like all these different partners that we want to bring in, get the app done. And what does that do? That just gives us a stronger team to support you in your deal, right?
Yeah. And we nailed the 2 things I'll tell you I can't nail. There's one in all one place. If you saw how many Google Sheets I was using in my deal,
Yeah.
like I had a Google Sheet for banks, I had a Google Sheet for the deal sorting, I had a Google Sheet for like my due diligence, I had a Google Sheet for like each. There were so many. Having it all in one place would be amazing, because I didn't necessarily have this problem. I had a lot of banks wanting to fund my deal, but a few of my friends that I've met through this process, banks were not necessarily willing to fund them. And so just being able to network with a whole bunch of banks at once when you don't have the solid rock star deal is also key. So the other part that I'll just tell you, and that I think is really key, is access to lending is way more important. I think is way more important now than I thought about initially. Again, my deal was easier, but everyone else I talked to, lending was way more complicated and harder than I thought it was going to be for them.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we just brought in Ty, our product manager, and he has access to 250 different lending resources, right? And so, like, that's a big part of why we like post all those meetings and show really like all lending is networking and relationships, and that's marketing. And so that's what I do is I spend dollars on marketing, and I get, we're able to turn over money while creating relationships with buyers like yourself, which aggregates equity and cash flow. And so when we have significant capital behind the platform, then we're going to be able to do it faster and more efficiently. So like I have like this one slide that goes over like why should someone like wire 500K to our account right now, is like here's the track record. Oh yeah, right here. Oh, right here. Right. So here are the 18 deals we have lined up. So we've directed 3.4. Like, so these will be closed in March. So not all of them are closed yet, But it's 3.4 million in down payments, 4 million a year in cash flow, 27 million in equity. So why can't we have 500K to build the app? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, does that not make sense to people? Like, people like. So imagine if like one
Yeah.
investor came in and gave us $3 million, and I could say, hey, you're gonna make 4 million a year, and you own multiple eight figures, like on like a year from now. Give me $3.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's the cash. It's the same small business problem. It's cash flow, right? It's cash flow. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So I hope you see like so that's why like right now I need people like you, Andrew, that have been in the program. Obviously, I thank you for doing this interview, and if you could like leave us a review on Trustpilot, that'd be greatly appreciated because I have, as you may or may not know, I have a failed business prior to this where I was selling e-commerce stores, and people say things to me about that on my current business, and it impacts people from investing into this business, and it's really frustrating because I've been doing my best to like build a good thing that solves the problem, and it's really frustrating, like I said, to have like bad business deals that were made out of desperation like prevent me from succeeding and prevent the market from having this product that is sorely needed. Like that's that's
Yeah,
literally
for sure.
that's the challenge that I have as an entrepreneur is I have to like navigate just the normal circumstances of running a business, which is difficult, but then I have to also overcome the fact that I failed previously, and for whatever reason that prevents me from like growing faster, which sucks for everybody, literally. But if it wasn't for my
Yeah.
failures previously, I would never have came up with this business, and that's what that's what my haters will never understand. Does that make sense?
Exactly. It does. It makes complete sense. But at least you're not personality driven, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of other options out there that are personality driven, and maybe that works because they have a loyal following. But like, I don't know. I think the fundamentals and getting the fundamentals right is way more important than the personality.
Yeah, man. I thank you. I appreciate that. Like, yeah, like it's really glad to have you on board. Let me see if there's anything I missed because my nice camera isn't recording anymore, but I still recording the screen share. So really, it was the management. What is like your overall goal, man? 5 years from now.
Yeah, my goal is growth. I think this business I bought for 1.5. That's about the revenue it does. It's got the potential for 15, if not 25. So really figuring out the growth plan for this business is like my 1 to 2 year goal. And then if that's set and ready, it's even earlier, start more. Find other services, find other areas. Either like what was important for my first one was local to me in Austin. I'm in Austin, Texas, and so it's like having one that I can just drive to and be at and be there for. Now, if this works, the next one I don't necessarily have to be. So, figure out the growth plan for this business. 1, 2, doing this again. Now, what industry, what business, I don't know, but doing it again is my number 2.
Awesome, man. No, that's yeah. It sounds like you're in position to do quite a bit. So you're in Texas right now, and you got
Yeah, in
married
Texas.
and kids. How's the family?
Yeah, married. I have one child. She's 6. It's so funny. My daughter's already my biggest advocate. We were driving to the Nutcracker Ballet for Christmas. That's what we did for a Christmas present for each other, was go to the Nutcracker Ballet. And my daughter was like, "Daddy, your company can clean this building." Like, my 6-year-old
Wow,
already telling me like and looking out for opportunities and sourcing for me. So it was great.
that's fantastic. That's amazing, dude. That's a beautiful thing, man. And what we really want to help and pray and believe is that like by the time your daughter is the time to go to college, like you paying her to learn from us rather than go to a traditional. Obviously, you still go to school. You're gonna be making a bunch of money, so you'll be able to afford both. But our goal, our goal is to eventually be able to like educate the next generation. So imagine like freshman, sophomore, junior year. It's like how many businesses did you buy versus like you like going to school to learn how to get one job for 4 years, where you could graduate college. Imagine you like got 3 deals done. Like imagine that's what education was. That's
Yeah,
a,
and actually, one of my accounts is actually, you should look up this company called Alpha Schools. You should look into them too, and not necessarily copy, but like look into what they're doing because they're trying to do the same thing for like child education before like uh, kindergarten through high school.
yeah.
They've got someone working for them too. I agree with you. I think it's a good move to get into education and like reshaping our old decrepit model of like warehouse workers.
No, exactly, man. Like that's like so we have like this whole presentation that we're doing tomorrow that's like talking about like the AI revolution and it's basically so like this slide. It's explaining how like all of these big corporations are cutting and it's like what side of AI do you want to be on? Do you want to be the side that's like losing your job or using AI to create equity and cash flow? Because that's what we're doing. We're creating a platform to aggregate equity and cash flow for you. Like literally. So here's evidence that the market's changing. Like so here's like we have 1,500 investment banking interns applying to work for us because the big groups already have AI tools to replace them. They don't need them, right? But we can use them. So you can have like we have 1,500 people at your disposal, Andrew, to like get your next deal done, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. Nobody built an app to like organize all these interns, teach them the basic fundamentals of how to find a deal, evaluate a deal. We've got 75 clients, right? And so it's just gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, yeah, for
so
sure.
so no man, I'm super jacked up. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, what would you say to someone uh, that said like, "Hey, acquisition network is a scam or a Ponzi scheme"? What would, what would your response be to someone who like bought the program, worked with Jim and Andre, successfully doubled your income through the program? What would you say to that?
I would say keep doing the research. I mean, I think that a Ponzi scheme you have to buy into, right? And so if you really believe it's a Ponzi scheme, go do your research. I I researched companies. I called people. I talked to people. Um, yeah, I think Ponzi scheme is what you let it what you let yourself. So go do your research. Do your research. Look into more things. Call more people. Like actually, and this is not what you asked me, Ryan, but like I'm willing to give you my phone number, my work phone number for like if people do want to call because I actually I called or texted I think 3 or 4 people before I decided to buy. Andre was one of them. It was Andre was a person who used y'all before he consulted me.
Yeah.
So call people, research. If you think it's Ponzi, it's only because you're buying into the wrong thing.
God bless you, man. No, we really appreciate that. I'll let Alex know because if you're willing to take a couple calls, that's great. One thing to reduce your need to take calls is like obviously doing this interview, posting something on Trustpilot. I don't know if is there any chance you're free around like 6:30 tomorrow for like just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I should be. I don't see why
Is
not. Yeah,
it
6:30 p.m. Eastern or what time zone?
well you're central, right? This is
Yeah, Central. Yeah, Central.
so yeah, we're doing a like
Yeah,
a
six
live
thirty. I should.
yeah, we're doing a live webinar. It starts at 7 Eastern. So, but if you like, you don't have to hop on the whole time. If you just came on like halfway through, and then you can just be like, "Hey, this is real, guys," because there'll be like enough people on. Be like, "Hey, I'm Andrew. Like, I went through this program.
Yeah,
Like, that would be sick. Like, that would be super helpful."
for sure. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, some of the details, and I'll actually be home. I won't be in the car, so I can actually take it from my home office.
Cool. So yeah, we're doing John. We're doing you, John, and then like you're at the beginning. I need a, and I don't know if there's any like is there any like photo of you I could use by chance? Otherwise, I would
Yeah, I can
screenshot
send you
this
one.
image.
Let me. I'll say. Can I just text you one to the phone number you gave me?
Yeah, if you could just text me, that's great. Because yeah, I was trying to find you on LinkedIn and I couldn't find you.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah. Well, also this account also says Andy Ryan. One of my names actually Andrew Reinhardt. It's like so maybe it was I'll text you a picture. Don't worry. I'll text you one.
Cool. But yeah, like that would all be super helpful, man. And yeah, I really do appreciate you taking the time uh, and like offering to be a reference. That's like right now, man. We just need to bring 500K in because like we just get that product done, and then we're gonna design a 100K product. I'm gonna make full time sales calls and just like pump money into this company. Like that's I've been like off the phone doing sales. I've been doing sales for a year and a quarter, and so like I've basically been spending that time recruiting. I did like 2 rounds. Like the first round, I found like David and Khalid. And the second round, like I recruited like 100 interns personally, and so now we have like an intern like bringing those 1,500 people in. So now at this point, I don't need to invest like any time on the M&A work or operations, and now I'm going to put all my energy on sales and marketing, which is why I need the reviews, because that was like the biggest thing holding us back. Anytime I ever went to like a professional like venture capitalist, like they would say more case studies, and then the other thing is like you need to have a live functioning product with SaaS ARR revenue, which we don't have. So right now they still see us as just like a consulting business. So like that's what like withholds us from like the big money. So that's why, like I said, need the 500K in so I can get the app live, and then we can, if we can get 2,000 people just to pay us $100 a year, I can show that I have some ARR, and then I can like get more professional investors to invest. So we just need like the live product. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Right now, if you could just help us push the boulder, because that's really what like I already have like 2 commits, like 2 people that are pretty interested at 100 to 200K each. So like I said, we're doing that presentation tomorrow, and then like I'm just gonna push and call everybody that I've ever met, and be like, we got to fill this January. And once we get there, then off to the races, man.
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much again for your business. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your support and believing in what we're building. Because we will not be able to do it without clients like you, man, that have like invested in the program and obviously made it to the other side successfully.
Yeah, you got to reach out. I'll give you my picture, and then reach out with the details for the webinar tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I will do that, and appreciate you, man. Hope you have an awesome afternoon.
Yeah, you too. See you,
All right,
Ryan.
see you. Take care. Peace.